light of the recent events, many people are seriously thinking about racism and its negative effects more than typical, and this helps us maybe focus on this question more as we should, whether it's today or on any other day. So the question is, how can we best combat racism and eliminate from ourselves, our communities, and the world?
Yeah. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Racism is one branch of bias, asabiya. Alhamdulillah, we had some lectures on asabiya uh, some time ago I don't remember exactly now, I have to think, it was Muharram series or Ramadan series. We talked about asabiya, bias. That is the root of problem. And we quoted from Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam that the problem of Iblis was also asabiya. Indeed, Imam Ali alayhi salam says about Iblis, he was Imamul Muta'assibin. He was Imam, the leader of the people who have asabiyah, biasness. What is asabiyah? Asabiyah doesn't mean to be positively concerned about something, because ta'assub sometimes has a good meaning, but here asabiyah has a bad meaning. Asabiyah, the Quran says asabiyat al-jahiliyah, means that something, just because it is related to me, I give it extra weight, and this can reach the point, increases to the point that I am happy to oppress others in order to promote that is affiliated to me. For example, I love my children. Okay, no problem. This is not asabiya. You love your children? No, this is not asabiya. But if you are a teacher and your, for example, children come to your class and there are other children in your class, and you give more attention to your children, or better marks to your children, or exempt them from some homework, or when you report favorably for your children, this is asabiya. So just love is not a problem. Every person can love their country. Hubbul watan. Hubbul watan is not a problem. There can be exceptional cases that, for example, if a country is, for example, systematically doing, bad things to good people, even in that case, it's not the problem of the country, it's the problem of maybe a government. But generally speaking, let's not go into too much details. Hubbul watan is good. I want my country to prosper. I want my, nation to prosper, to be very good, very advanced. But if this leads to bias, I don't see good points in others, and I don't see bad things in my own country. I want to take from others unjustly and give to my people. This is bad. Hubbul watan is not bad. You love your language. It's not bad, it's very good. I love, for example, Farsi. I love Arabic. I love Urdu. It's very good, very natural. And if someone doesn't love their own mother tongue, you should be surprised. It's very natural. But then if I don't respect other languages and people who speak other languages, and I think because just I speak this language, I'm better than other people, this is ta'assub. Or my race, my ethnicity. You can be proud of your ethnicity or race, but to undermine and underestimate others, that's the problem. So Islam not only has very clear guidelines and clear instructions about how to deal with injustice, with racism, with discrimination, but Islam also deals with these problems from the very root of these problems, and that is asabiya. And says that mu'min cannot have asabiya, because asabiya is quite opposite to truthfulness. Asabiya means truth is not important. What is correct or not correct is not my concern. What is related to me, that's the main thing. As if you are the center of the world and everything should serve you and serve your interests and interests of people who are counted on you. This is the problem. And believe me, it's not easy to get rid of asabiya from bias. Even people who have been suffering for years or decades or generations from bad treatment of others because of their bias, they can themselves do this to others. Maybe one ethnicity is mistreated, but then they can become biased about their own ethnicity and then be unjust to others, either the people who have done bad things to them or even other people. One gender, for example, maybe female women were mistreated, but then they can do themselves the same thing. Or in political issues, sometimes an opposition party, as long as they're in opposition, they call for certain values like freedom, etc. But when they come into power, the bias stops them giving the same rights to other people. So my suggestion, my advice is that we should uproot asabiya from ourselves, so that all these problems will disappear, inshallah. And if you want to uproot asabiya, you have to be rational. You should not make any decision or any judgment which is more than decision. Even a judgment which is in your heart and you don't say to anyone. Even for every judgment, you have to have good reason. Something which can be shared with fair people and they would appreciate. If you are afraid of thinking about your reasons which are shareable, I'm not saying you must share, but I think they must be shareable, it means that there is a weakness here. So we have to train ourselves to be rational people, to be truthful people. And social velaya is very helpful in this regard, but if we are not careful, even with social velaya, we can become biased against others. This is why I say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to grow. When we form a family, we grow. When we belong to a community, we grow. But there is a chance that at the same time that we grow, we make this new thing an entity that we become biased. You have to learn how to lose yourself. When you, for example, marry, when you have children, you have in-laws, you have community members, you have to learn that how much you have, for example, opened up so that you can include tens of people. Now include every humanity. But unfortunately, we just want to keep it to the minimal. So, okay, I only include my family or only my community. Don't ask me to include all Muslims. Don't ask me to include all believers. Don't ask me to include all human beings, because I cannot expand that much. I'm going to, kill myself, But this is asabiya. You think you are going to kill yourself, but actually that's to free yourself. This is the shell that it's going to break, and you think you are the shell. You are not the shell. Get rid of this shell and become for humanity. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You are the best people, not على الناس, over people. Not that we have been brought forth by Allah to rule and dominate. No, للناس, to benefit people. Means you are the best servants for humanity. If other people want to become the best servants, okay, please. Because I don't think anyone, would fight for serving, unfortunately. If you are a good servant, Bismillah, let the other people serve. Maybe it's actually a good thing that people don't fight over serving. But I'm saying this is not something common. So, Allah said to Ibrahim alayhi salam, "Inni ja'aluka lin-nas imama," not alan-nas imama. It's very important. Even imam is for the benefit of people. So, my idea is that these problems come and go, or come and remain. I don't know, sometimes they go, sometimes they remain. But we keep going from one problem to another problem. But let us work on ourselves and make sure that we at least free ourselves from the same cause for this problem, which is asabiyya. And it's very, very difficult. It's very, very, I am sure that I myself have lots of bias. It's very difficult to imagine that an ordinary person would have zero bias. It's very difficult. But we can work, we can reduce, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Shaykhna.
You're welcome.
We have another 15 minutes. There's another question that came in. So
yes.
We have the following. One of the big changes in the world which has been accelerated due to coronavirus is the rise of remote work, where we can choose to work from anywhere in the world without any negative consequence to our professional career. This introduces the question of how to decide where we want to live and raise our families. For example, we can choose to move to a Muslim country versus staying in the West. How would you advise us to think about this?
Yes, this is a very important question. I think I might have addressed this question somewhere, maybe in some of the Q&A sessions before, but at least in Muharram, last Muharram, we talked about this idea that it's not all in all a good idea that believers concentrate in some parts of the world and evacuate the rest of the world. Actually, we should take it as a mission to establish faithful communities in all corners of the world, especially strategic points, crossroads, major cities in the world, places which are influential because of politics, because of economics, because of, international relations. For example, Geneva is a very important place, Brussels is a very important place, New York is a very important place, Paris is a very important place, London is a very important place, Washington is a very important place. So Tokyo is an important place. So there are places in the world that actually we should work hard to have communities there, to have centers there, mosques there, cultural centers there, schools there, so that we can offer our job as a witness and build bridges. So I think, number one, there is no requirement that we all concentrate in Islamic countries. Number two, we have duty of actually be present and offer our witnesses. And number 3 is a matter of also confidence that you should have about yourself, your family, and community. If I see that there is no way for me to protect my iman or my family or my children's iman in this country, so I have to migrate. Sometimes maybe migrate even from one Islamic country to another Islamic country. It's not a matter of whether country is Islamic or not. It's a matter of the reality of life. Sometimes I see if I am actually away, maybe I have more control over my children than when I am surrounded by all, for example, Muslim groups, and they don't observe, for example. So you have to see between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whether realistically you can preserve your iman and the family's iman or not. If not, okay, choose a place that you can keep your iman. But if you can keep your iman, but you have to work harder, then see where your presence is more important, more beneficial for other members of community and for our worldwide community and for imam of humanity. So I very much hope that without compromising about your children, you would be able to establish yourself with strong ties and roots wherever you think is strategically important for us to be there, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Man.
You're welcome.
I'm going to prioritize the questions today, and then we will mention the greetings by text in the interest of time, because the pursuit of knowledge, inshallah, is the best way to greet. So we have some questions here. Sadiq from Montreal is asking that, is irony considered a form of lie? There's a similar question, perhaps different in some regards. Is being truthful related to being able to see, when we say something that is true, but know that it will be misunderstood by the person we are talking to, is this a kind of lying? So is irony a form of lie? Is saying something that is true but that we know will be misunderstood by the person hearing us also a form of lying?
Does he mean Toria?
Yes, I think so. Well, I mean, here the person doesn't mean that this is Tawriya. They're saying that they say something is true, but they know that this is, I think this means Tawriya, from my understanding, because they know that the person, they know it's true.
So what you mean is true, but what the other person understands is not true.
And you know that they will not understand when you say it like this.
Yeah. So Tawriya, according to your marja, you have to check, but normally they may say it's not haram, but I personally think it's morally wrong. But if you have to tell lie, there are exceptions of lying, then do Tawriya. Still it's better than lying, because you mean something which is true. Like we said many times that Imam Ali alayhi salam was asked about a person that some people wanted perhaps to find him, kill him, trouble him. He took one step, went to another point, stood there and said, as long as I am here, I have not seen him. Okay, he told the truth. He didn't give them the information that could trouble that innocent person, but he didn't also tell lie. This kind of Tawriya certainly is good. But I keep, doing things, and in order to run away from responsibility, I do Tawriya after Tawriya, Tawriya after Tawriya. I don't like this. I don't think this is actually saving one from mischief of Kizb. But for a fiqhi aspect of it, please see what your marja is saying.
How about irony? Is irony considered?
I think he means by irony this, yeah?
It's hard to know. We have to look up the dictionary and see how these
Yeah.
different versions of this
Yeah,
term
if
actually.
he means something else, then you can ask, inshallah.
Inshallah, if these questions I try to deliver them as much as possible. Apologies if
Yes.
I'm not
No, no, it's fine.
getting it through properly to the students and to the sheikh, of course.
Yes.
And if the question wasn't delivered, please re-ask it again through the
Yeah.
student portal. Or right now, if we had more time, I would even invite you to just unmute and speak directly. But always this option is there. You can unmute, raise your hand, unmute, and speak directly, or send the question with more detail on the student portal so that we can address it, inshallah. So that will be it for questions today. We are approaching the 8:15 mark on in